Next up, Mr. Griffith from Virginia.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Appreciate all of you all being here. Ms. Jackson, I really appreciate you bringing up the issues, and several have touched on it, related to poorer folks being hit harder. I represent a district that, before we get the new numbers, now that they've redistricted me, I got a lake area that might raise the numbers up, but folks are making less than $50,000 household income in my district, according to the data that we have available. And some of the biggest jobs are both industrial jobs and energy jobs. We just added 33 jobs. It doesn't sound like a lot to big places, but in a rural county, 33 jobs in a coal mine, and it happens to be metallurgical coal, so they're not doing it for energy, but they're doing it for making coke and then making steel. 33 additional jobs are going to be added in at $103,000. In that community, where you're looking at $40,000 to $50,000 as your average household income, and things that people often forget is that whether it be industry or energy related, those higher paying jobs then stimulate the rest of the economy so that the mom and pop grocery store can survive. Because in one of my coal counties, I looked it up, there is no Walmart, and they have to rely on the local grocery store. In one of my counties, not a coal producing county, there's one small independent grocer and a truck stop. And if you're looking to get, fresh fruit, or if you're looking for that organic product that you're talking about, Mr. Alsaker, is that how you say it?
That's correct.
Okay. Then, most people don't realize you might be looking at that truck stop as an area where you're going to get some staples. Or it would be, for many people in that county, the closest place to get a gallon of milk if they didn't have time to run over to the next county over to visit a Walmart or a Food City, one of our larger grocery store chains. So these things are important. And then you talk about adding 30 cents a gallon to the gas price, and these folks, and I'm sure the same is true out west, maybe even longer distances, but from one of my counties to get to the nearest, and I looked it up, from the county seat to the nearest Walmart's 24.1 miles, 33 minutes. Mm-hmm. So even if you're driving to the big box store, you just raise the cost on that. That's 2 to 3 gallons, depending on what kind of car or vehicle you're driving. And I appreciate y'all bringing this message to us, because I don't really understand how they don't realize it. And then we get to fertilizer, and I missed the name of the herbicide you used, Mr. Hickman.
Roundup.
Roundup. Okay.
Roundup.
And is that made with natural gas or coal, or?
No, that's made with a phosphate material. It's made, the base.
It's just another cost increase or
China.
difficulty. Oh, it's made in China.
That's controlled by the Chinese
okay.
government.
Well, on fertilizers, what can we do in this country to produce more? Is there some kind of policy that we can have to produce more fertilizer? I mean, some of my farmers, fortunately, had made contracts with the chicken farmers in Ben Klein's district to get chicken litter, and they already had contracts, so they were okay from this big bump. But what can we do to produce more American fertilizer for our farmers so we can cut some of that cost down?
I think really we just got to have natural gas. Natural gas affects most of the nitrogen products, a lot of the ammonium products. Our potash supplies, we don't really have many potash supplies in this country, but Canada is our largest supplier. So we receive most of the potash from Canada. But we've got to have a reasonably priced energy policy. We've got to have a good supply of natural gas that will produce more fertilizer in this country. You were talking about the electric vehicles. Phosphate is also in these batteries. That's a vital nutrient for agriculture, so we need to be thinking, are we using our nutrient supply in electric vehicle batteries? Also in hydrogen fuel, ammonium is one of the large producers of hydrogen. Well, ammonium is a natural fertilizer for agriculture. So what's the impact of that energy source on fertilizer?
Well, and it's interesting you mentioned the potash, and the reason that it's fascinating is that when the war on coal was at its height, some of my suppliers found that they could provide belting materials that they used to make here and equipment to run the belting materials they used to make in my district in Southwest Virginia.
Right.
and they found that they could sell the same product or similar product to the potash folks in Canada, and of course, they have to truck it there to get it there. So, you know, you bring up the cost of fuel again, whether you're taking your product to Canada or to Florida, or whether some of my businessmen are taking belting material or the equipment to run the belting material to Canada for the potash, raises those costs substantially.
Correct.
And I appreciate y'all all being here. This is a serious problem for our country, and we need to stop thinking that we're going to solve everything with renewables. They're important, but we can't do it all with renewables. I yield back.
Thank you.